Welcome to the news. Let's start off talking money. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is pleading with individual pension bondholders to accept government's current 15% coupon rate at 5 years of maturity as the offer stands with their bonds. This was in response to the call from the individual pension bondholders who picketed at the ministry on Monday, demanding a total exemption from the domestic debt exchange program. Mr. Ofori-Atta says it is crucial to include the individual pension bondholders to enable government to secure an IMF deal by March this year. James Kwesi Aveji was at the ministry and came through with this report.
These individual pension bondholders, some of whom can be seen with visible medical conditions, are united in one voice, a demand for total exemption from the domestic debt exchange program.
In fact, we want our money. We don't want to be part of this program. If he can't even pay the coupons, he should give everybody their money. Let us live our lives. Do you understand me? Because I don't have anyone to take care of me.
Some said their survival and payment of medical bills depends solely on the coupons from their investment.
I invested my money because that is what I'm going to live on. I don't have anybody. As I sit, I'm not well, but I have to come and sit here, breathless, trying to breathe. And you've taken my money. I mean, this is unacceptable.
Convener of the Individual Pension Bondholders Forum, Dr. Edouana Niemchi, vowed the group will keep on picketing at the Ministry of Finance at least 1 hour each day until government listens to their demand.
We will continue to be here until we are exempted, regardless of the expiration of the invitation period. We'll continue to be here.
Are there any timelines you are giving the ministry?
No, the timeline is just that if today we hear that we have been exempted, tomorrow we won't come. If we don't hear, we will come tomorrow.
After some 15 minutes of dispersing for the day, the group was recalled to have an audience with the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. But their anticipation for a positive response from the minister was short-lived.
Looking at all of the categories, we say, well, these are retirees. Let's include those 59 who will be 60 this year and give them 15%. So the fight that we are presumably fighting here is the difference between 15 and 18.5%. The cost of that may be that we may not get an IMF clearance. The challenge that we have is that we have an economic crisis. We do have an economic crisis. And I think if people truly want the elongated bonds, that's easier to do. It's less burden on us.
Dr. Edouana Niemchi said the group will deliberate over the minister's response and act appropriately.
This is a section of, we were 5 that were left to come and address us. The whole forum, we will send this to the forum. This is what the minister has said. And I believe whatever the forum says will be what we are taking up. As at now, the forum hasn't changed the position. We are meeting this evening, and we'll take it from there.
Although it is currently unclear whether the individual pension bondholders will sign on to the current terms, they are expected to continue with their picketing tomorrow. James Kwesi Aveji's report, read to you.
Now, after weeks of bitter argument and rancor within the opposition NDC caucus in Parliament, the members of Parliament have resolved to back the new leadership announced by the party 2 weeks ago. The removal of Haruna Idrisu as minority leader brought significant strife and cracks within the party, with some 72 MPs signing a petition asking for the decision to be reversed. Now, after a meeting with the party's national executives and Council of Elders on Monday, the caucus has resolved to fully back Dr. Cassiel Atuforsen and his team in the new minority leadership. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante has the rest of the story.
Some political analysts had warned that a decision to remove Haruna Idrisu could destabilize the party's quest to win power in 2024. But chairman of the party, John Senesi Nketia, says the concerns of the NDC MPs have been properly ironed out.
The challenges that arose out of the announcement of the new leadership of our caucus in Parliament have all been resolved. All concerns have been addressed. So we're just looking forward. We in NDC believe that sparks of truth emanate from clashes of opinion, and that was what has just happened. The challenges that we've gone through in the past few days have produced very beneficial results.
He explained that the party will fashion out modalities for decisions on how the caucus in Parliament is to be run.
The framework for organizing and leading our caucus in Parliament. It was work in progress, but it had not been completed. I think that these current challenges have brought the issue back on the front burner. So one of the takeaways from this meeting is for us to go quickly and expedite action on establishment of the framework for the running of our caucus in Parliament.
Dominic Ayeni spoke on behalf of the 70 MPs who had initially called for the reversal of the decision and pledged full support to the new leadership.
The NDC this evening stands united. And that is because we have the people who can stand behind us so that we march into 2024 a victorious party. Those who thought, as the national chairman has said, that this constituted an existential crisis that was going to decimate the party, that was going to cement any cleavages that emerged, are going to stand solidly behind Atufos and his leadership. There will be no turning back from what has happened today.
Chairman of the NDC's Council of Elders, Alhaji Muhammad Idrisu, said all MPs were fully on board and the NDC caucus in the House were going back to hold government accountable.
The beginning of the meeting. This is the end of the meeting. So you can see from the excitement that the problem has been resolved. We don't have any problem now. Our only problem is to win the 2024 election. I will hand you over to the national leader and chairman of the party.
So it's been weeks of rancor within the minority. Finally, the party has been able to get over this, and the party has announced that they are backing the new leadership led by Dr. Kesel Atufos. It's been hours of meeting here at the Justice D.F. Annan Auditorium here in Parliament, and the party has been able to resolve these key issues. Let's say they are going to back this new leadership, and all the specific issues that came up will all now be dealt with, and the concerns will be taken on board. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante from Parliament.
Revolution has come to stay. Revolution has a long way to go, but has come to stay.
Well, the party, meanwhile, wants its members to trust the new minority leadership. It says the Dr. Kesel Atufos-led team possesses the needed acumen to help the party win the 2024 elections convincingly.
We wish to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to the national leadership of the NDC for entrusting confidence in Dr. Atufos, the illustrious son of the Central Region, as the leader of the minority caucus in Parliament. We must say that this is well deserving.
Dr. Richard Esiedu, the Central Regional Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, spelling out details why the party did not make any mistake in their new appointment in Parliament.
The Central Regional leadership of the NDC wish to sincerely plead with the entire members of the minority caucus in Parliament to give their support and entrust confidence in the leadership of Dr. Atuforsen. We must all understand that leadership evolves. Leaders will come and go, but the caucus must not be divided. Let us all give the maximum support and rally around the new leaders to deliver as we did for our previous leaders.
He needs all hands to be on deck so the party can focus and execute its dreams and aspirations.
In actual fact, with Dr. Atuforsen as the minority leader, the leadership of the Central NDC is confident of winning 20 parliamentary seats and over 60% of presidential vote. Honorable Dr. Atuforsen is a modern leader fit for this era. And the NDC in Parliament is better off with his leadership, considering the roles he has played in the executive, legislature, and the party. We urge him and his team to stay focused and committed to the purpose. True stars rise to the top, not by chance, but through purpose and passion.
It is the belief of the Central Regional Branch of the NDC that the new leadership will be supported so the party will remain a united bloc for progress to be made.
Now, students of Bamaho MA Junior High School in Wa are stranded after fire raised a makeshift structure being used as a classroom. The students have had to study under dilapidated structures and inadequate furniture, which forced the authorities there to put up these makeshift structures constructed with firewood, straw, and old roofing sheets. Rafiq Salam reports the students need help to get their academic lives back on track.
The increasing rate of pupils' enrollment, coupled with dilapidated structures which could pass for their traps, has forced management committee of the Bamaho MA Junior High School to go in for these mixed structures. The Bamaho MA Junior High School has a total population of 321 pupils. 2/3 of these pupils are in Junior High School 2 and 3 and are comfortable occupying these two classrooms. Their junior colleagues, unfortunately on their part, has to hold classes under these mixed structures. They have been constructed using firewood, straws, and used jaded roofing sheets.
In a class of 74 pupils, which has been equally divided, the forged ones are at this mixed structure. But even under this structure, it isn't the best. The sun is scorchy and is unseasonable.
Apart from the inhumane and unconducive learning environment they have been subjected to, there is also the fear of the mixed structures housing pythons and other dangerous insects. There are uncountable times that pythons fell from the roof of their mixed structures, disrupting curricular activities. Yusuf Abdul Rahim is the headmaster of Bamaho MA Junior High School.
Here we have Form 1A and there we have Form 1B. And in fact, whenever it threatens to rain, it means we just have to close classes. Then sometimes we are in our classes, we are being visited by reptiles. Should I say fortunately or unfortunately on my part, I have been a witness to those occasions. There was an occasion where we were visited by a snake. I was in the midst of the teachers and then we all took to our heels. Just before the end of last term, we were visited by 2 monitor lizards. One came to one of the classes, then the other also visited the other class. And our classes that day were all disrupted.
The Parent Teacher Association, PTA, concerned about the plight of the pupils, mobilized and started the construction of these 2 classrooms, which has gotten to the roof level. The 2-unit classroom project has some support from the World Central Member of Parliament, Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpu.
To be used to do the roofing, there are 15 packets of roofing sheets meant for the roofing of these 2 classrooms is important for us because we know that it will enable learning experience to go on as we expect.
However, the woes of the pupils were further worsened hours after the 2-unit classroom block was completely roofed. The makeshift structure for junior high school 1B was gutted by fire, crumbled like sand, and straws turned into ashes.
So at the moment, what we're trying to do is to how we can fix it temporarily for classes to start, so that we looked forward to see how we can solve it permanently. If we look at the school, there are no structures. In fact, the pool are more than the structures. All these things you are seeing, they are classes. So we are managing with this for the meantime, hoping that the assembly will come to our aid.
The 37 pupils lost everything, including their furniture. They have no classroom and only loiter about while their colleagues are seriously studying.
As our class got burnt and then the furnitures are also burnt.
So at the moment, what are you doing?
We are roaming about, fetching water and then fetching sand. Taking them to the new building they built to make classrooms for us.
One municipal chief executive, Isaac Moment, who was at the school to assess the situation, expressed shock and promised a temporary fix of the situation.
Just this morning I had information that a makeshift classroom is bent. So we are here to see what is actually the situation on the ground. And true to it, the furniture is gone and the makeshift is also gone. So right now we're going to work out to get them a number of dual decks at least to start learning, whilst we look at a permanent solution for the school.
Reporting for J News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
A brand new state-of-the-art eye clinic and surgical center set to dramatically reduce the waiting times for local patients seeking treatment for sight loss conditions within the Techiman municipality and the Bono East Enclave has been opened. The new Holy Family Eye Clinic consists of new consultancy rooms and one theater that features the latest innovations from the ophthalmology industry. Bishop of the Techiman Catholic Diocese, Most Reverend Dominic Yabwanyako, says the facility would, among other things, help carry out a range of specialist eye care services for rural dwellers in its catchment area. Anas Abid has more.
Equipped with modern facilities to provide complete eye care to patients, the new Holy Family Eye Clinic will help curb the numerous eye problems facing residents of Techiman and the entire Bono East Enclave. The new structure, according to the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Techiman, Most Reverend Dominic Yabwanyako, will, amongst other things, provide advanced diagnostics and eye care treatment to the people of the region, particularly those in the rural settings.
The burden of eye-related conditions among the people can only be mitigated with the availability and accessibility of eye care services to the population. Thus, the provision of eye care services is essential in addressing especially the preventable blindness amongst our people. Providentially, the diocese and the hospital, in close cooperation with German Rotary volunteers doctors, designed this project to improve the hospital's capacity to address the eye disease burden.
GRVD President Dr. Jobs Isbari lauded the construction team for the roles they played in the establishment of the new clinic and was quick to add that the GRVD team will continue to lend its support to the Holy Family Hospital, which is the leading health service provider in the Bono East Enclave.
We, Chris Akan-Bobnab and the German Rotary Volunteer Doctors, GRVD, 2017 sat down to think about the possibilities of expanding the eye clinic at the Holy Family Hospital. Now, 6 years later, we are faced with a very successful result, as we have already heard from previous speakers. An eye clinic with excellent equipment and expertise. In the first step, a global grant from Rotary International had to be initiated in order to have a project roadmap and also a financial framework.
Director of the National Catholic Health Service, George Eji, charged the Holy Family Hospital to work towards expanding its services as well as ensure the sustainability of the new edifice.
Sustainability, Nana Chairman, does not just come with a building. There's still work to be done to plan and implement strategies that will make the services available whenever patients require it. Having the appropriate manpower, equipment, and the right attitude of staff to deliver care, among others.
Executive Director of the Christian Health Association of Ghana, CHAG, Dr. Peter Yeboah, on his part, encouraged the facility to intensify its community outreach programs as a means of making the new eye clinic relevant.
Many people are not aware of their condition. There is a need for us to intensify health education to screen and detect uncorrected errors in their eye system. There are several children who do not even know or who are suffering silently. Cataract surgery can restore vision. We need to pursue prevention, promotive treatment, and rehabilitation to make sure that this edifice becomes relevant.
The new clinic space provides significant improvements over the old location, including larger rooms, improved access, and clearer wayfinding, all designed with the needs of visually impaired patients in mind. Anna Sabit, Joy News, Tichman.
And that's how we cap off the news this morning. But stay with us, the news review is up next.